friends, my name is Dawn. Splat and I are so happy to be here with you today. We are going to have some fun with supatizing. Remember that supatizing is quickly seeing how many things such as dots. I am so excited to do this with you today, and so is Splat. We are going to use a 10 frame today to talk about numbers that are 10 plus some more. Remember, when we break apart numbers, that is called decomposing. Decomposing numbers helps us to combine smaller groups of dots easier to make a total. Your job is to say or show how many dots you see with each picture that flashes on the screen. Then, you get to explain how your brain saw the dots and how that helped you to know how many total dots are shown. You can tell this to a trusted adult or stuffed animal, or even to Splat. This is going to be so much fun. Before we get started, you can find a stuffed animal or an adult to talk to during our supatizing. You can also go find some beans or pasta to show you the different numbers you see on the screen. And finally, you might want to get some paper and pencil or a notebook to write in to explain what you learned today. We'll wait for you to get everything. Wow, supatizing. That's an interesting word. Let's use a Frayer model to think more about that. Let's take a piece of paper and we're going to fold it in half hamburger style. And then fold it in half again to make 4 equally sized rectangles. Then in the corner of our paper where all sides are folded, we'll fold down a small triangle. When you unfold your paper, the fold should look like this. Does yours look like mine? Okay, great. We're going to write supatizing in the center diamond because this is the word we need to understand more about. Then in the upper left rectangle, we're going to define or write what this word means. So let's write definition here. In the upper right rectangle, we're going to provide an example of supatizing. So let's write example here. Then in the lower left rectangle, we'll provide a non-example or what supatizing is not. So write non-example here. And finally, in the lower right rectangle, we'll draw a picture to help us visualize what supatizing is. So let's write picture here to remind us of what we're supposed to do. Now we're going to define supatizing together. So Splat and I are playing a game with die. When we roll the die, we wouldn't count the number of dots we see in order to move. We would supatize to know how many spaces we should move. So supatizing is when we are able to see small quantities or amounts without having to count them. Now that we've defined supatizing, Splat and I are going to give you some time to write this definition in your Frayer model where it says definition. Okay, as we learn more about supatizing in today's lesson, you will be able to add examples, non-examples, and draw a picture to share your growing understanding of supatizing. Okay, are we all ready? Splat's ready. Let's go. Watch the screen. Whoa, did you see that, Splat? That was super quick. Tell an adult or even a stuffed animal how many dots you saw. Yes, Splat and I saw 16 also. How did you see those 16 dots? Will you whisper to Splat how your eyes saw the dots? Splat said he saw one group of 10 dots and 6 dots left over, and he knows that 10 plus 6 equals 16. What if I took 1 dot away from the 10 frame? How many dots would I have then? Whisper to yourself how many dots I'd have if I took one dot away. Did you say 15? That's right! 1 less than 16 is 15. It would look like this. Great job thinking about the 10 frame. I think we're ready for another one. Watch the screen. Wow, splat! Did you see that? It was super fast again. Friends, can you tell Splat how many dots you saw? 17! That's right! What great thinking. Now, will you tell Splat how you saw those dots? Friends, I want to share with you what Splat and I saw. I saw a 10 frame all filled up, so I knew I had 10. Then I saw 4 dots and 3 dots, and I know that 4 plus 3 equals 7. Then I combined one 10 with 7 left over to make 17, because 10 plus 7 equals 17. Are you ready to try some more? Splat is. Watch the screen for a new image. Whoa, did you see that? How many dots were there? Tell an adult or stuffed animal how many dots you saw. Did you say that you saw 18 dots? Splat agrees. How did you know there were 18 dots? Tell Splat how your brain figured that out. Splat heard someone say that they broke apart the extra 10 dots and slid 2 of them into the 10 frame. Then they had 8 left over, and they knew that 1 10 and 8 ones is equal to 18. That's right, Splat. Okay, friends, Splat and I have time for one more image. Are you ready? Watch the screen. Splat was so surprised. Did you see that? There were 2 10 frames. Tell Splat how many dots you saw and how your eyes saw those dots. You could even make it with your beans or pasta. He saw 20 dots too, and he saw one group of 10 and another group of 10, and he knows that 10 plus 10 equals 20. Did you see that too? I have one more question. What is 1 less than 20? Whisper to yourself what our total would be if we took away 1 dot. Splat and I heard you say 19. That's right. If we took away 1 dot, we would have 19 because 20 minus 1 equals 19. Friends, Splat and I had so much fun here with you today. We love supertizing with you and decomposing numbers. Decomposing is great because we can break apart numbers and add to other numbers to help us make 10. Splat and I would love to hear you say what you learned in your own words. I have these sentence starters, and I'm hoping you can finish these sentences with me. They say, today in math I learned, and I can. So I might say, today in math I learned how to use a 10 frame to help me add numbers up to 20. I can decompose numbers into smaller numbers to help me get to 10 and then add on to find my total. Now it's your turn. Read this with me and finish it by telling an adult or stuffed animal. Today in math I learned. That's awesome. Now let's read our next sentence and you can finish it. I can. You are doing a great job talking about your math learning. Next, you could also write this on paper or in your notebook and start a math journal. Let's look at our Frayer model again. Let's think about our examples and non-examples together. For the example square, we could say an example might be dice, since when we look at the dots on dice, we don't usually count them. We just know how many dots we see. A non-example, or something that is not supertizing, might be counting, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because supertizing is seeing how many without counting. Now that we've done most of the Frayer model together, I challenge you to add a picture to show your understanding of supertizing. I also challenge you to add more examples and non-examples on the chart. This will help you show your learning from today's lesson. You can share your learning with a friend like Splat or a trusted adult. Splat and I must go now. But you did a lot of hard thinking about numbers and decomposing, and how we then add on to make new numbers. Great work.